Hello and welcome to another math video. Today we're taking a look at our study guide for our FST A final exam. Beginning with number 1, we're looking at solving that equation and determining whether it's a conditional, an identity, or a contradiction. If I zoom in here a little bit, a couple ways we could start. We could start by distributing the 2, but I think I'm going to go a little unorthodox here and actually divide by 2 instead. Note what I noticed there is that the 14m plus 4 will divide nicely by the 2 also. That saves me the effort of distributing. And once we make it to this point, we then just go ahead and we're solving like normal. So I would probably subtract the 3m from both sides. If I'm going to do that, then I'm also going to subtract the 2 from both sides. So I get 4m equals negative 8. Divide by the 4. We get m equals negative 2. So if I have m equals negative 2, then that's really my solution set, or if I want to be technical about it, I can write the solution set like this in set notation. And since there is a single solution, that means it is conditional. Oops. Yeah, I guess somehow I got rid of that L there, so conditional. There we go. Okay. Looking at number 2, same sort of thing. I could actually, again, get away with dividing by the 5 here instead of distributing. And you could feel free to distribute too if you like. So that's going to kind of free the 2f minus 31. I'm also going to end up with 2f minus 30. Oops. Fix that quick here. Not equals 31. 2f minus 31. There we go. And then at this point, if you look at this and say, hey, wait a second, those two sides are both the same thing, and that's perfectly fine. You can see that, yeah, they are the same. If you want to go further, you could subtract the 2f from both sides and even add the 31 or just leave it. But we get negative 31 equals negative 31. So that means that this is an identity. And so then in the set, really, is all real numbers. You could also write that in interval notation. Oops, not a parenthesis. I was thinking interval notation. Interval notation would be negative infinity to infinity. I'm fine either way. You might put that interval notation in a set, since either way. So any of those kind of different things there for that one, but it's being all real numbers for the solution. Here I can't divide by that 2, so I guess I'll distribute that. So distributing that 2, we get 4k plus 56. So right away you might notice, well, 4k plus 59 and 4k plus 56, that just doesn't add up. So if we subtract the 4k from both sides, we get 59 equals 56. And last I checked, those were not the same thing. So 59 does not equal 56. So this is a contradiction. That's a T. And so that means there is no solution. So you could write no solution. You could do the symbol for the empty set, or you could do braces with nothing in there. So any of those three things is fine. Just don't do a combination of, for example, putting the symbol for no solution, or the symbol for the empty set, I should say, inside the set notation. That's different. So one or the other of those, but not both together. All right, so solving the equation for the specified variables. So we're solving this one for r. So the trick is here that we've got r on this side and r on that side. So that's a bit of a problem. What we want to do is we want to get those r's on the same side, whether left or right, but get those together. I don't think it's going to make a big difference either way, so I think I am just going to go with subtracting the r from both sides. If I'm going to do that, I'm going to at the same time add the 5k, because I want the 5k not on the same side as the r's. So I get ar minus r, I get 5k minus 6y. Now, the reason we want the r's on the same side is now I can take and factor an r out of that side. And so then we get that. And now I'm just looking at, well, r is being multiplied by something. I'm going to do a quick color change. So I divide both sides by that something, and we end up with, well, r equals that 5k minus 6y. funny looking k, over a minus 1. And if you put the r on the other side, it's going to switch a few things around, but the r should actually be equivalent. I'm not going to make you watch me do that, though, too. All right, so that's that page. We'll go ahead and we'll finish this page, and that'll be the end of this video, and I'll just do kind of a series for this because it gets to be a lot of questions. Number 5, same directions, solve for p. Same issue, really. We got p's on both sides. It's kind of just more practice of the same thing. Maybe I'll move them to the right this time. So I'd subtract the 4p. If I'm going to subtract the 4p, I would also add the 4. So adding the 4. Now, here I might go 4 minus 9s. You could write that differently if you like. And I'd go tp minus 4p. Again, I can factor a p out. I get t minus 4. And then the 4 minus 9s. Pardon my handwriting here. Again, on the right side, the p is being multiplied by t minus 4. So we divide both sides by t minus 4. And so then we really get p equals 4 minus 9s over t minus 4, like that. Let's see, here we're going to solve the formula for L. There's only one L, so that makes it a little bit easier. We want to get that L by itself, so we'd start by subtracting the 2w. And so then we could divide by the 2. So p minus 2w over 2 equals L. You could rewrite that a couple different ways. Maybe do p over 2 minus 2w over 2, which would just be w. That could also equal L. So either of those is fine. Not extremely worried about that one. This one gets a little bit tricky. Solving this one for C, we'd start by subtracting the 32. So subtract 32. Of course, we can't combine the f and the 32, so just f minus 32. And then we get equals, that's an equal sign, 9/5 c. Since c is being multiplied by 9/5, we then, in order to get rid of that, we multiply by the reciprocal 5/9. We certainly do not want to divide by 9/5. That gets to be just a whole mess. But multiplying 5/9 by 9/5, then you can see we get 45 over 45, and they just cancel out. So that's what C is. And so really that 5/9 f minus 32. And then you should recognize that for being the formula that we use to convert from Fahrenheit to Celsius. Okay, number 8, a little bit of a word problem. You zoom out, or that didn't work. Zoom out a little bit so we can actually see the whole question. Find the length of a rectangular lot with a perimeter of 126 meters if the length is 5 meters more than the width. So for a rectangular lot, the perimeter would fit this formula, 2L plus 2W. They tell us the perimeter is 126, and they tell us that the length is 5 more than the width. So if we plug in our different values, we would get 126 equals 2 times the length, which is really W plus 5, plus 2 times the width. And so simplifying the right-hand side a little bit, we distribute the 2. We get 2W plus 10 plus the 2W. Don't divide by the 2 there. I know I did that earlier. I guess you could do that correctly, but what most people would miss is that it's the whole side divided by 2. So you'd have to divide the 2W by 2, which you could do, but I'm guessing most people do that wrong. It's just simpler in this case to distribute the 2 through. Combining like terms on the right side, we get 4W plus 10. Subtract the 10. We go 116 equals 4W, and then we divide by the 4, and we get 29, so W equals 29. Now, let's hold up, though. It says find the length. Okay, so they didn't even want the width, but I tell you what, we're going to find the width first anyhow, so they can deal with it. But we know the length is the width plus 29, or sorry, the width plus 5. The width is 29. So the length would be 29 plus 5, so the length is 34. And again, that's all they wanted was the length. I suppose I should include units. 34 meters would be the length. All right, well, hopefully you found this helpful, and as always, thank you for watching, and again, be on the lookout for the next installment of questions that I'll do next.